Follow them on Twitter, YouTube, Podomatic, and iTunes. This is brought to you by Luke Creed and Tony W. Now it's time for the Guys Night Podcast!
Step in the theater, what will you find? So many movies, not enough time. Action, horror, thriller, comedy, foreign documentaries. Welcome to Guys Night. Guys Night.
We just got out of War of the Planet of the Apes. Hands down, Andy Serkis. Just gonna start off the bat. Dawn was definitely an improvement from Rise, even though I kind of feel like Rise is better. But hands down, Andy Serkis deserves an Academy Award for this. I consider Dawn, like War of the Planet of the Apes, my second favorite in the trilogy. I consider this up there with the top trilogies like Star Wars, Dark Knight trilogy, Toy Story trilogy in that genre. This movie, you go into it expecting this giant war, but it's more of a psychological, why are we even fighting for this war? The cause and the effect of war. And Woody Harrelson, hands down, his character is just so menacing and his motivation is just so sick. So because of that, I feel like this is the best antagonist of the trilogy. I'm gonna consider War of the Planet of the Apes my, again, second favorite in this. Better than Dawn. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 4 stars.
Holy shit. Altogether, it's one of my favorite trilogies. They did so many little things that were kind of like nods to the old one that kind of, seeing as how the old ones take place in the future, they basically set up the entire history of this series in these 3 movies. And they've done it in so many different ways. I won't say it now because I don't want to spoil it, but I'll say it in the audio. But there's little hints and clues they give you that make it just great. Once again, the main guy kicked ass. In every movie he's done a fabulous job. The villain was good. I mean, the other 2 didn't really have a villain per se, but I'm glad this one did. They kind of gave it an archetype. All around, the movie's fantastic. I'm not bad to say that.
I have to say, this is my favorite of all 3. More character development, more apes, seeing from the other side now, some of them after the second one, what happened to them after they followed Koba, see what they did and everything else like that. It was great. Woody Harrelson is amazing in this movie. He's very menacing. He's like the devil, but I kind of understand his character. But certain things happen. But Andy Serkis, I know he deserves an award. He's not going to get shit for this because
unfortunately.
Okay, but he needs one. I did I'd say certain people I didn't know in the movie were Steve Zahn, who was the bad ape and everything else like that, and certain other characters. It gave me a fresh take on this after rewatching the 70s movies. So I'd say, love this movie.
Yeah, we just got out of War for the Planet of the Apes. Have to say, is hands down the best of the trilogy. Little sadness in the end, but I can't say this more than Andy Serkis needs to be given an Oscar. You can't not give this man an Oscar. Gotta give him. I just ruined that, didn't I?
You did.
Well, he needs an Oscar. I'm sorry to say that. I'm tired of saying it. This guy needs an Oscar. Oscar. I mean, don't give the movie an Oscar. Give him an Oscar.
Is his middle name Oscar?
It should be an Oscar. I'm telling you.
Saying
But as I'm saying,
You want to say Oscar.
the movie was fun, action-packed. Because if you notice, I'm pretty sure if you noticed, the movie was action-packed. Comedy is well blended. Steve Zahn as Bad Ape. I have to admit, this is a good movie. You guys got to see this. Also, Matt Reeves, good job.
Did you give it a score?
I don't even think I think 4.
Just saw War for the Planet of the Apes, or I saw it last night. Been kind of sick, so I missed Thursday with the guys. But I thought it was great. One of the most underrated trilogies, in my opinion. Woody Harrelson was an awesome addition from James Franco, and really emotional too. You definitely felt for Caesar, the struggle he went throughout the entire movie, and all the pain and suffering he went to. Reminded me of Dark Knight Rises a little bit, when they have Batman in the pit the whole movie and he's suffering and he comes back at the end. Like, this was kind of similar. And I love the bad ape. He didn't really have a name, but he was like the funniest character in my opinion, wearing his little coat and little hat and stuff and all. He had a bunch of, like, he was the comedic relief of the movie. I guess my only gripe about it was the title was a little misleading, War for the Planet of the Apes, because I thought that would mean like just strictly apes versus humans at the end, but it's kind of different. Like, I don't want to give it away too much, but it makes sense for what they did. It was more realistic what they did at the end. I had really high hopes for this. It definitely lived up to it, but I still think Get Out is my favorite film of the year so far. It's going to be tough to beat, but this is definitely a close second favorite film of the year. I don't know if I want to give it a 4 out of 4. It was still really good. I mean, the apes look so lifelike. Like, Andy Serkis deserves an Oscar nomination for his motion capture work for sure. He's been way overdue for that. I think all in all, I give it a 3.5 out of 4.